Yeah, the story started that I was studying abroad, and these two guys were in the morning resurrection at that time, and we always wanted to do something a little more extreme, not black metal, but more towards the death metal side. And I had expressed that to them, and we all knew that we wanted to do this for sure because we had a band called Mortuary before I left for the States. So we knew that this is where we wanted to go. And after I came back, basically there was no stopping us. I mean, that's what exactly happened. I mean, we got together to make some extreme music.
Okay. So, what's your genre?
It's just death metal, man. We used to call ourselves brutal death metal, but I think of late we've got like everything, in the entire death metal genre. Like we're trying to incorporate a lot of stuff into that. So I think it's just death metal, without actually going and delving into sub-genres as such.
Okay. Uh, so, what has influenced your music? Style-wise, band influences, any international Indian band?
Basically, there are many bands that we've been listening to since it's been a while. Mostly Camel Corpse, Morbid Angel, Trizium. And many of the brutal bands maybe listen to different bands. So yeah, really we try to incorporate whatever the feel and the kind of music that we are into, and try to make that kind of music and try to create the original stuff, and so far it's working quite well.
I think Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel were very big influences on all of us combined. I mean, I have a Morbid Angel tattoo. I can't really see it, but yeah, they're like that's what got me into death metal. Like, I mean, that band is just something else for me. And apart from that, I like Beast of Flesh, Seven Savior, Decapitated. Like I love Decapitated, Caphanom, stuff like that. And Meta has other influences as well. Like
I like Beats of Flesh. I like a bit of Watershed. So, do you guys fall into the newer category of death metal, or do you guys follow the old school?
I'm more of a new school guy. Anything, not just like death metal, but anything. I mean, I like to keep up with what's going on now instead of delving in the past. I mean, no offense to people in the past. I mean, we do use a lot of their influences, and a lot of the bands we are influenced by are influenced by those older bands. So yeah, it's a chain. But yeah, I'd like to think of me being a new school of metal person.
Uh, what are your lyrical influences? Do you guys, discuss about things like politics? Do you guys have any message to put across, or is it old school death metal go on?
Just guide him, Ashwin.
I think should work. Um, Ready, guys? He wants to answer the bands that influence us question again.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I did it, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
Rolex?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think everything we do affects the kind of music we make.
Everything you do as a
Everything, man. Everything that happens in life. Things you go through and
general
affects
life
your
experiences. Are these also part of your lyrical influence? I mean, do you guys write about
to an extent, yeah. The first album was about more about religion and psycho killers, that kind of stuff. Second one was it was just some funny stuff on campus. The stuff I'm writing now, it's more about global destruction and a little bit of political stuff.
I don't think there's been any message as such, as in like it's always been like a story, like what plays in his head, like Like when you have songs like Orphanage Carnage, it doesn't mean that he wants to go kill babies or something. It's just that it's like a it's like a vision he had in his head or whatever, and he put it down on paper. So I think lyrically, it's not like we're trying to like tell people to do something or whatever. It's just his thoughts, his visions. It's entirely lyrically. Like I don't think any of us even like contribute even 1%. Like we don't do that at all. Like, I don't even read the lyrics properly until like like they're like done. Like I'll probably read it once because I'm not really into lyrics. But yeah, it's the whole and soul of lyrics is just him.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different things you feel like writing about as you go along. You write about something as you grow, you start it. Some other things that affect you.
Sure. Any Indian bands that you guys really like?
Uh, Indian bands. A good question. So far, one band that I really like is Bhayanak Mod. They've been playing quite well. Apart from that, there used to be a band called Blasphemy. It's been like a while that we've been disbanded now, but yeah, that really influenced us a lot at that time when we started like playing this band. Yeah, so far, again, it's just a very limited amount of like bands that I really think of. What?
Yeah, you don't have to say BM just because other players, like it's fine.
No, it's not like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like BM. They've been friends for like a long time. And Extinct Reflections, AVR is doing a great job in Delhi. Undying Ink is doing a fantastic job over there. And that's pretty much it actually. I don't really like any of the other Indian bands. They kind of bore me. I mean, at least in this genre. At least a lot of good other, like, there's a lot of good rock. Like Lounge Banana, how can I forget that? They're a really, really good band. Yeah. There is a lot of new music happening as well. Like people are thinking out of the box in terms of music as well as presentation. Yeah, I think that's
Your album cover, the one which is really simplistic. Care to comment on that? That's not generally your usual death metal album cover.
yeah. The whole concept for that the disc was not supposed to be like your in your face death metal. Okay, is he shooting or what? Okay, the whole concept of this CD was not to be like your in your face death metal cliched concept where you have these spiky logos and you have like someone dead lying there in a pool of blood or someone guts being ripped out. I mean that's great. I mean as art it's great, but it's been done to death. Like, and it's just a contradiction, man. I mean, who the fuck is anyone to tell me that I can't put that on my cover? I mean, like that's what people expect me to do. I mean, people expect me to follow a certain norm or follow a certain code in metal or whatever. Fuck that, man. I mean, the whole point of this music is there is no code, there's no restrictions. It's all about like doing what is not done before. That's what metal stands for. Anyway.
Wait.
How okay? What song do you know? What song do you know of any of the death metal bands you just said? Like name some. What did you say? A few Calvin Popular. It's like a few. Name some.
Like which band?
Okay, name say Chrysian. This is the best one. Name Chrysian. He said Chrysian, right? Name Chrysian.
I don't have any like. I don't remember.
Please get this on tape.
You are do.
I'm gonna do this with Vas also when he comes. Vas also the same.
Okay, cool, man. You want to mention the bands again?
Yeah.
Please. Go on. We're rolling.
Rolling?
Yeah.
Amongst the Indian bands, I obviously like BM because they are like really good friends of ours. Undying is doing a great job. Extinct Reflections is doing a fantastic job, but I think they've disbanded because they've gone to MI or something. Whatever. They're already good. I don't know why they left. Then there's AVR in Delhi who's doing good stuff. Lounge Banana is doing fantastic stuff. In the Bombay bands, the new bands are like Zignuma, they're putting up a really good show. And Atmosphere is doing a really good job. Devoid is doing like a fantastic job. Are they from Pune or from Bombay? I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Yeah, from Bombay, right? Bombay. least my favorite bands or like friends of mine in the scene. I mean, the Indian metal circuit.
Ashwin, I can hear him. Okay, here's a little social question for you guys. You've been around in the scene for a while, right?
Do not hold it there. It's
Why
airing.
are you being so tense, man? Do you feel like peeing or something?
No.
At the back. Should we tell him that story or Basu? No, Basu is like we know.
Yeah, you see that. Yeah. What happened?
No, he's going for it. Maybe some other day.
Yeah. So, what do you think about, I mean, like, when you guys were around, I'm pretty sure there were not too many women in the scene.
Women?
As in- women, yeah.
That's his question.
Yeah. Do you think it's changed? Do you think there are more women in the scene? Not just as groupies, maybe, but also as musicians.
First of all, there was no groupies. Okay, let me correct you there. There was no groupies. Maybe Parikrama like got groupies. Maybe they paid them to like be groupies, but I don't think there are groupies in the scene at all.
Right.
B is that there are obviously a lot more female musicians now. Yasmin is a fantastic drummer. She's a female musician who's been around for a long time, like from young, man. Like they've been around for a long time. And there was a band called Zebediah Bush, and there was a bass player from the band. I don't really know her name, but she's been there for a long time. There was a girl called Chintan, right? Today, like, spoke to her about it. Like, she's from some band in Chinmay. Some band in there. I have no idea. But, yeah, I mean, Akin Mithu. Yeah, Akin Mithu. Yeah. There are a lot of fans nowadays who are women, but it's not that much also. My girlfriend is like into metal completely. That's pretty much how I met her. So that's how we should be friends.
What are the changes in the scene that you guys have observed, from the time you started off to now? Positive.
Original music. That's the biggest change that I've seen in the scene. Like people are actually making original music. Like maybe 4 years back, 5 years back, he was infested with cover bands, and the really big bands who also made it their name, like by playing covers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, that's the best part about the scene now that people are actually writing their own music, and that's the only way I think the scene is ever going to progress because nobody in the world wants to like see a cover band or listen to music from a cover band. They want to see what you have to offer, not what how you're doing what others have already done. If you have a cover album concept, that's a different thing. But that's still like a different issue altogether. But like yeah, back there in the scene, it was just covered. Maybe one original or two, which were absolutely substandard for that time.
But I think it makes sense that you play original stuff. I mean, if you look at other bands, I mean, international bands like name it like Candlepop, Motley, I'd probably say Slayer. I mean, they won't cover some other bands as such. I mean, they do, but again, I mean, they are recognized because of the original music, and that's what the key factor is over here. I mean, that's what really works in the end.
It actually makes sense.
So yeah,
It's getting better at this.
Any problems in the scene?
I don't want to talk about problems, man. I mean, let's not talk about problems. Let's talk about how you can better it.
Yeah.
What's the point of talking about problems? No, I think the scene is doing well right now. It's the only problem I see, as far as sales and stuff go for music, is that the other mediums are not portraying this music really well, and that's why people don't get to know about it. But then I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I like the fact that it's a small bunch of people who actually know about this. It just has a very nice charm to itself. So I think uh, the scene is progressing quite well. I mean, earlier, like Def Leppard came to Bombay and did like lip syncing. That's the best like we've got in India. I mean, yeah, there's been Bon Jovi, that was a fantastic show. Michael Jackson came, but there's no metal bands that as such that came here. But off late, there's been Free Kitchen, Iron Maiden, Detonation, Anterior. These are two small bands that came to the Eastern Festival. And this year, they're talking about like every other killer bands. Internaut, Benya Reach, Machine Head, man. I mean, fuck, that was a killer show. Megadeth. So yeah, I mean, this was unheard of, like maybe 10 years back, but now it's happening. So I think it's going in a good direction. In a good direction, I think.
Um, I have a question about piracy, music piracy.
We love this question. Meta answer.
Yeah, please go on. Are you guys pro, anti? How do you think it's affected the Indian scene? Whether it's sales, are you guys spreading the music better?
I download all my stuff. I don't buy music. And I don't know, man. Like, there's so much music I listen to. I'm not buying it. Yeah, that's a good reason. Some people will download my music. Yeah, I think that's the main reason why we gave our music out for free. Among my was for free. Even like Scribe's albums are for free. I mean, I've always been a supporter of giving back something because I've taken so much from the scene as such. I've downloaded pretty much every band that I've heard of. Like maybe initially when we didn't have MP3s, that's the only time I probably bought CDs, and I bought maybe 2 or 3 CDs as compared to the hundreds of brilliant bands that are there around. I would have never heard of them if it wasn't for the net. I mean, it's a brilliant medium to market your products. It's a brilliant way for people to find out about new bands. I mean, if they really like the band enough, they can buy the CD. They really want to. I mean, earlier there were no stores that would sell the kind of bands we listen to. So again, that was a problem. How the hell are we going to get that? I mean, there are purists and elitists who actually order from abroad, but I don't have that patience, man. I mean, I'd rather spend all that money into gear and making the music instead of buying CDs because I can get them really easily. And I don't mean any disrespect to the band or anything as such. That's why I'm trying to give back by not charging people for my CDs.
I think that's the best way to get yourself exposed when it comes to the international scene as well. There are a lot of bands that you probably never thought about, and then some other bands and some other people abroad they don't know about any bands. So I think if they are checking we'll probably listen to our songs or downloading stuff, and I don't think so it's a problem with that. So I think that's a good way to just provide opinion about what exactly kind of music you play. Yeah, I don't think so. It's that bad.
Have you guys seen the torrent stuff? Wait. One last final question.
Consider this or how
Future plans of the band.
future plan of the band. This band is going to stick around for a long time. Man. I mean, it's not like we're dependent on the scene for anything. I mean, our life doesn't depend on any of the factors except for the fact that that till the day we are motivated, till the day we are completely into this music, we're gonna keep writing it and keep listening to it. There may be hiccups in the middle where we may not be in the same place at the same time for some time, but we're obviously gonna come back together eventually at some point in time. It's not gonna stop. So you can expect albums for a long time.
Did you ask about the crowd audience part?
Actually, he's gonna ask the question now.
Yeah, I also ask questions.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay. So I have to look at him or you?
No. Anything.
I look at him.
That's
between.
That's good. Exhumation as a band, as far as I've noticed, has played very less shows outside Bombay.
Yeah.
But still, I would like to know this. What is your perspective of how the audience in Delhi, Bangalore are different from the one in Bombay?
Let's not talk about Bangalore. I just don't like the audience in that city. I'm sorry, Bangalore, but whatever. There are obviously people who we like in Bangalore, but audience-wise, I don't know. They just come off as very intellectual or whatever, and they just support their own bands. I mean, I've seen that. It happens everywhere. It's not just that, but I think Bangalore that way is very restricted to the bands that play there. They're very judgmental. They're very, they won't support you. Like if you're maybe feeling a little nervous or whatever. But, that's what I like about Delhi. Delhi, they support you to no end, man. even if you like fuck up, they won't like make it obvious like, oh, you fucked up, and they'll start analyzing. They just want to have fun. They just want to have a good time at the show. That's why people pay money to come and like enjoy a show. I mean, they don't come and like try to analyze. Oh, this is how you play this. This is in 3/4. This is in 5/4. Yeah, musicians do that. But that's backstage, man. Fuck that. Like fans or people listening to music aren't supposed to like really be concerned with that. I mean, obviously you can think about that at home, but like fuck, come and enjoy the show, man. Not like make a thesis of how which band is playing what note.
What about the northeast side?
Oh, Northeast is brilliant. I mean, as BM and Scribe had gone there, and man, it was like unbelievable. Like we didn't get that big a crowd because we started really early and the ticket prices were a little high, so a lot of people could not, afford to pay. I think that's what happened like last time we went there. And but we still had a crowd of like say 1,000, 1,500. By the time BM closed, it was packed, and we had this you know big farewell after the whole thing, which was quite cheesy because I forgot that Sag was gonna play next, so we kind of disrespected them that way. Like we kind of said bye and like end the show. But yeah, I mean, Shillong is great. Delhi is my favorite actually by far, and Bombay of course. Bombay is home, man. So I mean that's
In the interviews that we have done, many bands have said that Bombay crowd is the most difficult to please.
maybe for other bands from other cities because we're giving it back to the people who are fucking with us there. So it's okay.
But I think it also depends on what kind of music you play, and
Yeah,
the quality of the
definitely,
music also
definitely.
matters a lot. That's what really attracts people a lot.
He's talking sense today, man. Fuck.
So I think, yeah.
What?
Blooper.
Yeah.
No, I
We
don't
have a
like that.
blooper section as well. Go on.
Yeah, don't say that right now. You'll like get all defensive. You'll talk on the phone later. I'll tell you. If you want to sign a waiver, I'll sign it also.
What
you
else
need to
do
agree
I
with
don't
me.
know what all you asked.
Here, do this list, complete list.
Anything else?
So, what are plans for the next album?
Well, the next album actually is in process right now. We finished about 6 songs. I've written 6 songs. Meta is going to do another 3 or 4 songs. Like, what happens in the album is that he gives me the ideas, like, for whatever he has, like, say, maybe an intro, or maybe a verse, or maybe the whole song sometimes. Like, put it down on record and present it to him. Then, if everyone likes it, then we just release it. We don't think too much about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what the album is going to be called or whatever. The direction is a lot more towards what uh, we originally started doing. Like the second album was a little experimental, which I love totally. I love playing stuff from that, and like it's a nice workout. But this album is going to be more about the songs and the structures and parts and about the lyrics, about like everything, man. Not just like like we're not experimenting with this one. We're just like doing what we like doing really well. Like we're following uh, uh, a set path as such, but it's not the same as what we've done before. Or whatever. So that way, it's going to have some kind of freshness to it. You didn't ask about religion?
You did not?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh, this is also another favorite question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Him first.
Yeah. So, what do you think about all these bands writing about all these anti-religious lyrics?
And
stuff?
even pro-religious bands.
Yeah, and pro-religious band. Do you think
Gospel
like
rock.
music should influence religion, and vice versa?
I don't think either has to influence the other. Uh, uh, People are scared to turn against what they've believed in all their lives. So that's when a band like Deicide or Mobbing comes in. Like, even they say like stuff like "fuck your God" or "God is dead." It might not mean much. It might not be that impactful like after a while, but it definitely shakes you. You need that shaking. After that, you're just like in that bullshit zone thing. So, I think
That's what I do.
I think music sometimes can be like driven by religion lyrically. Like there are a lot of bands in our field at least who write about religion a lot. And I mean, at one point in time, it was like the in thing to write about religion. But like when the first few bands did, that was cool because that had that kind of that shock, that awe, like how the fuck can people write about this kind of stuff. But then when everyone starts doing it, that just doesn't have that novelty anymore. And I mean, I like Christian bands also, man. I mean, this band called Extol, I don't know if you've heard of it, but I love that band. Like, they're a brilliant band. And I don't think people should gauge music because it's religious or not religious. It's about the music. I mean, yeah, the whole package and all that. But like,